Whose turn to tease? I think it's mine.
Okay.
Is it mine? Whatever.
Sure. Wait a minute, wait.
Well, I can't say it any better than Tony. Please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News.
You're despicable.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
I'm an opportunist. Don't ever forget that.
Yes, you are. I should be smarter than give you opportunities. So did you tell him to like, subscribe, and follow?
I did. Go.
Okay, so Sheila's done her thing already?
Yeah, she's done her thing already.
Wasn't paying attention. I was coughing. And you were making weird story. 53-year-old skydiver Gary Connery, I wonder if he knows Patrick, was sentenced in Oxford Crown Court, England.
Sean.
They could be friends.
They could be the same person.
So the new meme I like
Yeah.
has this Jesus-looking character
Okay.
putting shaving foam on a guy,
Mm-hmm.
and underneath it is Sean Connery. That's not what I said.
Of course.
53-year-old Gary Connery, not Sean, was sentenced in Oxford Crown Court in England. According to the BBC report, it was for grievous bodily harm. He apparently threw his girlfriend, Tanya Brass, down a staircase. The assault shattered her shoulder. Took place in October of 2020. That was not a good year for anyone. The now infamous abuser previously achieved his 50 minutes of fame when he served as Queen Elizabeth II's stunt double in the opening ceremony of the 2012 Olympic Games, when he and James Bond, yes, another stunt double, leapt out of a helicopter and parachuted into the Olympic Stadium. After the stunt, Connery told the BBC it had been an amazing experience.
That whole story just to get that in.
Yep. Perhaps he can relive it now during his 18 months in prison. Apparently, being a cause celeb for like 8 minutes allows you to be a vicious idiot.
Yeah. Well, what a wiener.
Or a politician, but,
Nothing else.
No.
According to Care 11 TV, right here in our own Twin
I know
Cities.
them.
Yeah, the Legal Marijuana Now Party candidate for Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District, Paula Overby, has died.
Again?
Paula... Wait for it. Paula previously ran for the 2nd Congressional District as an independent in 2014 and 2016. She was a Green Party candidate for U.S. Senate in 2018, then later ran in the DFL primary for the U.S. Senate in 2020.
I'm seeing, I don't know, I think we would call it a pattern.
Tyler Overby said his 68-year-old mother died of complications from heart valve trouble after being hospitalized for the previous 2 weeks. And here's why I chose this story. The same scenario happened last election cycle.
See, she died before.
And it wasn't her, you dink. In 2020, in the exact...
That Swan stuck it to you.
In the exact same race, when Legal Marijuana Now Party candidate Adam Weeks died just, weeks before the election. At the time, and this is where I want you guys to start tying these things together. At that time, incumbent Rep. Angie Craig filed a lawsuit with the Minnesota Secretary of State to keep the race on the ballot in November 2020 rather than hold a special election in February 2021. Which just reminds me, I got a note back from a client.
Yeah.
You pronounced February wrong.
February?
Yeah, it's February.
I hate putting a little R in there.
And I do too, but they came back and said, it's not February, it's February. I kind of went,
really? How do you spell February?
You dingbat. Anyway, according to the Secretary of State's office right here in Minnesota, Overby's name will remain on the November ballot. Angie Craig is a shoo-in. And now the conspiracy theories begin.
Angie Craig's an idiot. She has the dumbest ad I've ever seen.
Yep. Who goes four-wheeling in an outfit like that, by the way?
Ever since the Supreme Court took away the woman's right to abortion, and then not 3 minutes later, she said, giving that right to abortion to the states. Well, which is it, dope?
Yeah, one way or another. It's there or it's not.
And people are going to reelect her.
Yeah, they will. They will. Your turn.
Minnesotans are
Weird.
keep going.
Odd.
Keep going.
Idiots.
There you go. Residents of South Auckland, New Zealand, who even pointed us and say idiots, were the lucky or not so lucky recipients of the contents of an abandoned storage container. According
Yay.
to Stuff,
Okay.
wow, there's something stuff.
Well, there's got to be something that's and nonsense as
But
well.
that's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It says stuff reported.
Yep. I'm so happy.
I could have come up with that, and people mocked me for that all those years. Where was I now? When they got the loot home, they discovered a surprise among the items. Surprise! Human
What's it?
remains.
Oh,
You know, I know you're thinking gold doubloons,
yeah, something good.
vintage
Something
racing
worth
magazines, anything.
millions.
No.
An old guitar that someone kept under their bed for 600 years.
The new owners called police on August 11th. Their first priority was to identify those remains. Duh, said the detective inspector. Detective Inspector Tofalau Fa'amanua Vaiula. Wow. I'm going to stick with Smith, Jones, and Johnson from now on.
Don't, not another word.
Yep.
Was it Waldo?
Yes.
Oh, good.
A neighbor who previously... Actually, it was Carmen Sandiego.
Where in
Police
the
are now,
world is Carmen Sandiego? Well, she's in that thing.
police are now looking for Waldo. A neighbor who previously there's something wrong with you. The worst part is I go right with you, so there must be something wrong with me too. A neighbor who previously worked at a nearby crematorium noted, quote, a wicked smell coming from the home. I knew straight away, and I thought, where is that coming from? His mom reported that detectives and forensic teams had been recoiling in shock from the scene. Here's another shock. The investigation is still going on. Wow.
Flathead Beacon Police Blotter.
Thank heavens, finally a bit of normalcy.
8:07 a.m. A whitefish man who thought he'd won $19 billion, a new Mercedes, and a weekly stipend had already spent $18,000 trying to pay taxes on his winnings before being told it was a scam.
Was it a Nigerian prince?
Something chickens, something hatching.
Every minute.
11:47 a.m. A man standing on a cliff was drinking a six-pack.
Okay, not the smartest thing to do.
But 1:38 p.m. Someone thought it was suspicious that workers were hanging drywall on a Sunday.
Okay.
3:37 p.m. Someone's visiting parents said they would be taking their trailer to Idaho, but were next heard from in Wisconsin. Dum dum dum.
Dum, 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 dum. Were they sending a large container to New Zealand? Did any of them look like Waldo?
Maybe, or Carmen Sandiego.
Well, she's dead now, so.
I've never seen her and Waldo together in the same picture.
I haven't. That's because I think they keep it under wraps, or kept it under wraps until the violent fight that obviously
resulted in the death there.
Yeah.
10:52 p.m. A man threw a boulder at a truck window. Now that's one I'd like to see.
I've seen that in movies.
How? Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman threw a tank.
Yeah, well, that's possible.
Hulk has thrown big chunks of mountain.
Well, of course, but it's Hulk.
So
this says a man, clearly a man, not anyone that has been doused with gamma rays.
Or is a, God.
8:40 p.m. A man stopped his Prius and banged on another car's door, asking if the driver was single.
Bold move. See, some people have, I would never think of that. Pardon me, miss. I realize we just stopped here for a red light.
Single? Yeah, that's
But
not
you
frightening
want to
in
have
any way.
coffee or anything?
It's like saying I love you in German.
Yep, shout it at him, because the world is also frightening.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.